One of the big problems that is present in today's business ecosystem is that it's very, very easy to get started in a business and even go a few lengths or a few miles in your business journey. However, what I find is that a lot of people are going into business without a clear understanding of the fundamentals or the building blocks of any kind of business. And even if you've had no business education, no MBA in business, that is totally fine, nor have I. But I was able to learn business by working under my founders. I worked for two startups back to back, and that built a solid understanding. And what I realized was that my own business, my own healthcare commission selling business was failing till then because I did not truly understand the building blocks of business. Now, when you don't understand the building blocks of business, the big risk in today's times is that you may get confused. You may have lots of over information, and then the risk is not failure today because there's not too much leverage involved in setting up business, but the risk is stagnation. You build your business to a certain level and then you stagnate. And when you stagnate, you realize that probably the building blocks or the deeper fundas of business are not clear in your mind. And today, the cost of getting out of stagnation or the cost of actual restructuring is bigger than the cost of what failure used to be back in the day. So today, the cost of restructuring your business and come into alignment can actually drive you bankrupt. All right, it's a big risk, and that is why I created the basic series today of going solopreneur. And as a solopreneur, you can actually go from quadrant 1 all the way to quadrant 3 of the financial ecosystem. I just want to quickly open up my screen and show you what are these stages, so that you can quickly understand. The stage 1 is the worker, where you may be an employee working for somebody. Stage 2 is the hustler. Stage 3 is the owner, and stage 4 is the investor. Now, as a solopreneur today, business ecosystem in India allows you to go all the way from a worker to a owner, from a worker to a hustler to a owner, and all on a single solopreneurship license. And that is what truly excites me about the business ecosystem of India today. And what I'm trying to do with these videos is help you clear the building blocks, help you understand where everything starts, where everything rests, what are the different building blocks of business, so that you can actually build your business the right way and you don't have stagnation pools where restructuring is probably going to cost you whatever you have gained on the way and whatever you started with. So it's a absolute bankruptcy risk today to restructure your business if your alignment fundas are not really right. Okay, so let's get started with today's video. I just want to talk to you about what are the basics of money with relation to value, and what are the different options. So when you go out and just see different coaching programs, when you read different books, there's lots of podcasts today which are giving you lots of good ideas about business. But how does it all make sense to you? Because today over information is a big problem, and shiny object syndrome is a big risk. Okay, so I just want to make sure that you are all set with relation to the basic fundamentals. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Excel sheet over here, and we can have things written down in a clear fashion so that I can quickly explain. Now, very importantly, business is a exchange of work for money. All right, a lot of people call this value. Value is a complicated term. Okay, so what exactly is value? A lot of people think value is adding more and more, giving more and more information, and then when the time to make a sale comes in, they think value is telling you everything about the product and just walking you everything that the product is supposed to do after the paywall. They try to do it for the client before the paywall, and they think that is value. And that is why a lot of people today, solopreneurs, are not able to make sales. Okay, I am a sales strategist at the core of my function, and I'm making these videos outside of my sales function into the overall business area. And the reason is that I have been spending close to 15-17 years to go from employee or worker to hustler, and then I was spent 3 to 5 years going from hustler to owner, and I want to just outline that whole journey and make it shorter for you. All right, so very simply, business is nothing but an exchange of work for money. Simple, work for money. What is value? We won't go into it right now. Value is complicated. Okay, what is work? You go do the work and you get some money in return. Very simply, when you are working, when you yourself are putting in the work, it is you at work. you at work. This is the simplest business, and it is a hustler level business. All right. So if you have a commission selling business, if you are selling somebody's products in return for a commission, then you come under the simple hustler category. Basically, it's you doing all the work, which is building a distribution system or selling the products, and in exchange for money. Okay. So you going to work in exchange for money. Then you may also be into team building or hiring people under your own brand, which means you're paying them salary directly. So this basically means instead of you going to work, you also have other people going to work. So there is more time or more work in order to make the money. Okay. And at the ultimate evolution, you have something called a mechanism. You have a mechanism by which people and a bunch of people and other things come into play over here. You have IP, you have business processes, you could even have automation systems over here. You have a mechanism that is creating the work that is generating the money. Okay. So when you go to work, your only consideration is time. You're putting in time, you're making money. All right. When you have people working for you, you are putting in your own time, plus you're putting in money because people have to be paid. Okay, people have to be paid. Even if you're working as a commission seller, it does cost you money. Remember, because the commissions that the entire team generates, first the lower ranks get paid out, and then you get paid the residual. So it actually is costing you the money to actually build a team. Of course, the revenues are higher, so you end up making more money. So it costs you time and money to have people working for you, either directly on salary or working for your team, even if your company is paying them the salary. Okay. And when you build a mechanism, sooner or later, it becomes a game of money, which basically means to build mechanisms. Once the mechanism is built, imagine you build a software or something like that. Imagine you build an AI engine or something like that. Imagine you build a factory or something. At the end of the day, it becomes an exchange of money for money, and that is the ultimate evolution of business. Okay, I put money in and money comes out. Okay, so it is basically disconnecting the time factor from the money factor, and this is where you can truly be an owner or even an investor. What do investors do? Investors buy working mechanisms. What do owners do? Owners build working mechanisms. Why mechanisms? Because mechanisms are truly disconnected from time. Okay. If you watch the movie BlackBerry, just recently came out, which is based on the cell phone company, how BlackBerry owned the market, ruled the market, and suddenly Apple came in and they took away the entire calling market by having calling as data packets. And there's a very important line where this person, he's losing business, and he goes to his biggest clients and he says that this is the rate I'm going to willing to give you for minutes. Minutes means per calling minute. Okay. And his biggest client tells him, see, that's the problem. There is only 1 minute in a minute. Okay. And that basically means that Steve Jobs, when Apple came in, they started billing not minutes as minutes. They didn't bill for time. They billed for data packets. Okay. That means they disconnected the time from the value. And that basically means that the value can be infinite. That's why the money that you charge for that value can also be infinite. That means you don't really have to work in order to create the mechanism. In fact, the less number of people involved in a mechanism, the more automated it is, and the more value an investor places on that particular business. In fact, the more you're going to make as profit from the business, because wherever people's time is invested, there is a recurrent cost because time is limited. Okay. X number of people you have working for you, or even if you're going to work for yourself, you cannot work more than 8, 10, 12 hours maybe in a day. All right. But if you have a mechanism can scale unlimitedly. All right. Okay. Now let's go to the money side of the equation. Okay. Let me just format this properly. Let's go to the money side of the equation. What is money? Money is basically something that comes in through sales. That is something a client pays you. You call it revenue. You can call it profit. Money also comes in multiple ways. Let me just format this right. Okay. You have money that comes from signing up new clients. Okay, so you have new clients and then you have repeat clients. Okay, you have new clients, people who come to know about you, and these are the people who will buy a product. We call this sales. Okay, and people who are already knowing that you are there in the market, they've already done business with you, they're paying you every single month. In whatever format, even if you have like something like a Kirana store, like your customers are pretty much standard, they are going to buy all their groceries from you. If you have a mechanism Like if you're billing for a software, if you're billing for an electricity connection, a phone connection or something, all of these companies are billing us every month. We are repeat clients, which is also called renewals or subscriptions, which means every single month I'm going to be paying, or every single month this client is going to be paying me. Okay. Now I've made a totally separate video on what is the value of subscriptions. In India, subscriptions don't really work as a front end product. If you have a subscription product, like you're selling a health product like a vitamin or a weight loss supplement, and you expect people to buy it every single month, subscriptions don't really work very well as a front end product. This is not the topic of the video today. I'll be talking about it totally separate. I've already spoken about it separately in a video. Please go ahead and watch that video. Okay, I won't be talking about it over here, but long story short, you can either get new clients to pay you money for whatever it is that you're providing, the work that you're delivering, either through time or through teams or through mechanisms. And this is called sales. If you have clients who are already working with you on a monthly basis, they're paying you or something like that, this is called renewals or subscriptions. Okay, you will find that in order to find these clients and hold these clients, you still have the same thing. You either need people, you're the sales guy, it's either you, or you have your people, or you have mechanisms. This is very, very important. One thing that is not taught to us is that even getting clients is a game of mechanisms. It's a game of mechanisms. Just like you are able to spend some time when you're brand new as a solopreneur or something like that. You have to literally spend some time, or literally have some connections, make some calls, go have those meetings. You get those clients. You can create a mechanism out of that as well. Not taught to very many of us. That's why we end up thinking that holding on to existing clients is the only way to build a big business. Okay, or constantly being in front of people. Like if you're a real estate broker, I see this is a mindset problem. This is a mindset problem. Just like on the product delivery side or on the work side, your goal is to disconnect your time from the actual delivery of the work. Similarly, on the money side, which is on the earning side, your goal is to disconnect yourself or your time from the getting of the client. Okay, I have a lot of people who are real estate guys, real estate brokers, members in my academy, and they say, well, if I'm not out there on the street every single minute of every single day, that is literally my job, then the client won't pay me. If that is your only value, that you yourself have to find and get the client every single minute of every single day of your waking or your earning life, then you will work till you die and you will never be rich. I'm not saying that. Warren Buffett said that. Okay, same with a lot of people are into health supplements, or they're working as commission sellers with healthcare companies or wellness companies. If you think that holding on to your team for the rest of your life and bending over backwards, being always available to them because that particular team is your source of subscription revenue, then not only will you work till you die, you will almost never be rich. I know that your company is doing enough to brainwash you to show that yes, you can also be a 20 lakh rupee per month earner. But the point is, if you have already spent 2 years doing the current business that you are doing, and if nothing has changed, then chances are that the formula they are teaching you is outdated or just plain wrong. In my case, I started working for a commission selling company, and my business was not doing too well till the time I actually worked for my next mentor, who was the owner. And I worked for him for 10 plus years. And then he was able to tell me these mechanisms and tell me that, hey man, you're a very brilliant guy, Rajat. You're going to be a multimillionaire, that's fine, but not with the mechanism that you're working right now. The mechanism needs to change, evolve. And if you work with me, I'll show you how to build better mechanisms. That's where I truly learned a lot of the lessons that I'm sharing with you today. Okay, so what is the learning from the video today? The name of the game is definitely give yourself the time. In my previous video, I talked about time discipline. Okay, I talked about upskilling. Those are your first two focuses when you are on the hustler stage. Time discipline, increasing your skill. All right. The second thing is getting probably more people involved, transitioning over that skill, even if it costs you money. And the ultimate level is to create a mechanism where people can be hired, trained, and delivered value, or people can be replaced entirely, and the whole thing can be done through automations, which costs you money. And on the sales side, master these two items, which is how to get clients. First, you do that, then teach some people to do that, then create a mechanism where it can be done. All right. Same with renewals and subscription. You do that, get people to do that. There is a mechanism which could be done. Okay. Your job is not to hold on to your subscription teams all all your life long. There is a life cycle to it. In my next video, I'll be talking about life cycles. If you don't understand the life cycles, you will be spending your time and your money in doing the wrong thing, and your time is going to get burnt and your money is going to get burnt. Okay, so in the next video, I'll be talking about how to understand life cycles, how to let go when it is time to let go and not burn your time and money in the wrong thing. A lot of people today, solopreneurs, are burning their time and money in the wrong thing. And one of the biggest reasons is because, first of all, they don't understand the work, go straight to automations when it comes to delivering the work. And they don't understand sales. They don't know how to ask for money, and they go straight to automations when it comes to trying to sell. You cannot go to an automation or to a mechanism if you don't understand the process yourself. Very, 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 very simple. And if there are other people in the industry or coaching systems in the industry who are constantly telling you that, hey man, if you use my automation, it's going to get the work done for you. If you use this AI, it's going to get the work done for you. Or if you use my particular automation, it's going to make the sales for you. The answer is no, you will not. And remember, mechanisms cost money, whether it is mechanisms to deliver the work to your students or clients, or it's a mechanism to earn you those clients. Sales mechanisms and delivery mechanisms, automations, all of this costs money. And they cost money on subscription, which means if you go directly to automation systems, you're going to bleed yourself dry every single month when your own speed is not that good. Your own speed is not that good because you don't have time discipline and you don't have the skills. So your first goal when you are a solopreneur is to first build skill, understand every aspect of the work that brings in the money, and understand the every aspect of sales that gets the people who are actually going to pay you the money. So you're going to upskill yourself. And the second thing is you're going to have time discipline while doing so over extended periods of time, minimum 30 to 60 days. If you have not done that, there is no point building email automation systems and signing up for Tag Mango and doing all of these funny things. Okay, I have nothing against any particular company. I myself use automation systems, but the long story short is that I see a lot of people wasting money when they themselves do not have the discipline to use these systems. And the systems are going to bill you dry every single month, because for somebody, the automation system that you're using, for somebody else, you are a repeat client who is on subscription. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Even in my coaching, my highest level coaching is a subscription basis, which means you have to pay every year to renew the coaching if you want to be in the coaching system. So the people who are there in that level of coaching for me are every year assured revenue subscription billing clients. Okay. Also, I don't accept a lot of people who themselves are not fully disciplined and ready in gear, because then I'm going to become the cause of their failure. I'm going to get a bad rep for that. Right. Similarly, there are other people and companies and automations who are there for whom you are a renewal subscription client. Beware of that. Beware if you in your healthcare company are buying protein powder or weight loss that you don't really need every single month just to be a subscription client, to be a part of a system. Not worth it. No need to have email automation and all kinds of expensive software just because you want to be in the game. Not worth it. I myself have kept lots of softwares on subscription. I spent tens of lakhs of rupees to figure out and try to learn them at my own slow pace. But the fact of the matter was that was not my source of income. My source of income was coming from somewhere else, and I could afford them. I see a lot of people today affording or trying to be on subscription for somebody else, thinking that the cycle is going to repeat. No, just because you buy a subscription system, an email marketing system, a landing page system, or a community hub or something like that on subscription billing does not mean that you're going to succeed. Okay, you need to understand the fundas. So this is probably only just the second video. In my next video, I'm going to be talking about life cycles, which is another thing you need to understand so that you can free yourself up of all of these commitments that you don't need. All right. I hope that these videos are adding value. Some of these videos are a little more hard hitting than the sales coaching videos. Now, sales coaching is relatively simple. Business coaching needs to kind of go a little more deep down. All right. Please let me know in the comments what you are gaining and what else you would like to see in the video content that I'm creating for you. And please subscribe and follow this channel so that you can see the videos as soon as they are released. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Till that time, see you, man. Bye-bye.